For those of you who don't know me, my name is Miranda Rodriguez. I would like to take a moment to thank my husband Luis for helping me interview his mom. He was our translator and helped us overcome most of the language barriers. There was a few questions that didn't translate correctly, but we got through it. We pushed through, and with his help, we were able to complete the assignment. I'd also like to thank my mother-in-law, Yolanda, for taking the time to sit down with me and talk about her life and her home country, Mexico. I have been around the Mexican culture for most of my life. I have experienced how important family, food, and music are to the Mexican people. But I've never taken the time to sit down and try to figure out or ask why these aspects are important to them. This assignment was a great opportunity for me to dive deeper into the Mexican culture and find out from my mother-in-law's firsthand experience and knowledge what family, food, and music means to the people of Mexico. I thought it was only right to first talk about the most important aspect of the Mexican culture, family. I have seen with my mother-in-law the way that she interacts with my husband and our children, how important they are to her. I know that even though she lives over 2,000 miles away from her family in Mexico, that she still talks to them numerous times a week through Skype and telephone calls. I see through her devotion how important family is to her. But family just isn't important to her, it's important to the Mexican people as a whole. Michelle Moline says that Mexican families display loyalty no matter what, and their loyalty comes from a strong sense of national pride. I saw this pride when I was interviewing my mother-in-law. I asked her if she loved Mexico, and she lit up and she said, "Yes, I love Mexico and I love being a Mexican." She also confirmed that Mexican people are very loyal, especially to their families. It doesn't matter what problems they have or how far away they are, family comes before everything else. One way that families spend time together is through cooking. They show their love through the food that they cook. So food is an important aspect to the Mexican culture. Ruben Saldana Jr. and Felix George said that Mexican culture comes alive through food. Every time we go to my mother-in-law's house, she's cooking something. And she takes great pride in feeding her family. Out of the 10 years that I've known her, I have never once had anything bad. Be it enchiladas, burritos, tortas, you name it, she'll cook it and it'll be delicious. Yolanda told me that one of her fondest memories is a tradition in her family. Every Christmas Eve, everybody comes together and they spend the whole day cooking for the festivities that night and on Christmas Day. You see, Mexicans believe that food is an extension of their selves, of their emotions. My mother-in-law says that your emotions are transfused into the food that you cook. If you're happy when you cook and you cook with love, then the food will be exceptionally good. If you're angry when you cook, it's going to be extra spicy and hot. People are going to feel your spiciness of your madness. Her explanation of how your emotions and thoughts show through the food that you cook reminds me of Laura Esquivel's book, Like Water for Chocolate. In the book, Tita de la Garza is able to manipulate people's thoughts, feelings, and actions through her food. In one part of the book, she is overcome with sadness while preparing her sister's wedding cake. You see, her sister is marrying the man that Tita loves. While she's making the icing for the cake, her tears fall into it, and when the wedding guests eat the cake, they all become overfilled with a sense of sadness and longing that Tita felt. This book confirms the Mexican belief that the food one prepares is a part of them. Just like how food helps the people of Mexico be connected to their roots, so does their music. The influence of music on Mexican people is another aspect that I have seen with my own two eyes. I have seen Mexicans dancing away for hours without stopping and taking breaks. We actually went to a quinceañera this weekend, or not this weekend, this summer we went to a quinceañera and for a cousin of my husband's, and it amazed me how they were just able to just keep going all night. They loved the music and they loved dancing and they were just having the time of their lives. The only Mexican or Hispanic that I know who doesn't like to dance is my husband. And I joke with him that he is the least Latino that there is because Mexican and music is such a big part of the culture. Even though he doesn't like to dance, he does love listening to Spanish music. And just like his mother, it makes him happy. John Lychner wrote an article for Music Educators Journal. And in that article, he explained that one of the best ways to connect with Mexicans is through their music. This concept is further explained by Jorge Andres Hera, who teaches Chicano studies at the California State University. In an interview, he told Cynthia Moreno of Vida en el Valle newspaper that, quote, everything that happens in our lives is reflected in music. And when he was talking about this, he was talking about the Mexican people, that everything in the Mexican people's life is reflected through their music. You see, music is more than just a way to express yourself. It is part of the people. It's a part of the land in Mexico. Mexico is a fascinating land filled with all different kinds of aspects of culture. And as much as the actual boundaries of the land make up the country, so does the connection to family, food, and music. All three of these aspects are infused into the citizens of Mexico. They are a piece of each person, and they help them show their love and their happiness to the world.